morning, good evening, and good night, everybody. Today, I have a little bit of a different video for you all. The Newbie Booktuber Tag. Now, as you can probably tell, I'm entirely green. I have no idea what I'm doing. So I figured, let's do this tag. You learn a little bit more about me, and hopefully I learn a little bit more about what I'm doing, which we all know that won't happen, but we're gonna try, okay? Now, I have all my notes written down on this. This also has all the questions, but I will leave the questions down below. First question, why did you start this channel? Well, I started this channel because I like books. I always wanted to do something with YouTube, but I never really knew what. And finally, I just decided, well, screw it, film a video, and let's see how this happens. Of course, it took me a couple months before I actually did anything with that video. Put it up online, and you guys seem to like it. I seem to like doing it, so we're just going to keep doing it. Second question. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? I definitely think it's my unique taste in books. I haven't seen many people talk about the type of books that I like, which is kind of why I want to start doing this. I want to see people talk about books that I want to hear about. And so I figured I'll just go get the books and do it myself. Everyone right now is doing young adult. I mean, there are some fantasy people out there, but no one's really going into sci-fi. No one's going into that weird, obscure, possibly urban fantasy, but maybe something else. Talk about Night Vale. Night Vale's amazing. Nobody has any idea what Night Vale falls under, but I love it. Question 3. What are you most excited about this new channel? I'm most excited about getting to talk to people. I have opinions, and I want to share these opinions, and I'm hoping someone out there has a similar idea or maybe has a counter idea that they can talk to me about, and we can figure out, like, hey, we got something here. We can do this. Or we can just goof off and have some fun. I don't know. I just want to meet new people. This seems like a great way of doing it, by talking to myself about books. Meeting new people by talking to myself. That's a great way. I'm actually really excited about doing this, though. Next question. Why do you love reading? I mean, it's not just reading. I like stories. And to me, it doesn't really matter where the stories come from, whether it be a book, a play, or movie, or just some kids sitting down and making stuff up. I like hearing different ideas. I like knowing different possibilities. To me, reading, writing, performing, anything that tells a story is worth preserving, and it's worth sharing. So, reading to me has always just been another way of hearing a story. Next question. What are books or series that got you into reading? I mean, I've always loved reading. I think the first book I actually ever remember sitting down and getting excited about was the Bernstein Bears, which is so weird because that was such a long time ago. But back in middle school, I started reading the Kane Chronicles. Very long story there. I can't read that series anymore, but that series got me both into history, mythology, and reading. Does history and mythology count as in? It got me into basically everything I'm into right now. I'm a huge historian. I'm a huge history buff. I love reading. So, yay, Kane Chronicles. I don't see many people talking about it, but, if you're going to talk about Kane Chronicles, you're going to talk about Percy Jackson. Never really got into Percy Jackson, but, you can tell where I'm going here. It's those kind of stories that get me interested in reading, and that's why I like reading. Next question. What are some questions you would ask your favorite booktuber? Now, I don't really have a favorite booktuber. I have a person who got me into booktube, and that person I would ask, hey, you gonna start cooking again? Because I really like that series. But at the moment, I'm really enjoying Happy Elephant books. It's a pretty small channel, but I just like the honesty he has. And I guess my question would be hey, you seem really sad. Can I get you a cup of tea or something? He seems so sad in his videos. I know he's not, but it's I want to give him a hug. And it's boy, you need some tea. Next question. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be and the hardest to overcome? I honestly think the hardest thing to overcome would be explaining this to my parents. Because, my family's not too keen about me putting myself out there, but, you realize what kind of world we live in right now. You can't do anything without being out there. You let me have an art channel on DeviantArt, you let me have Instagram, you let me have Facebook, but I can't film videos about books? Like, it seems a little odd. Like, Dad's like, possibly you should wait, but Mom's like, what are you doing? Also, getting people to stop talking downstairs, because apparently them and the phone you can hear very clearly when I'm filming, so it's like that's gonna be a challenge. I guess another setback is that I'm a fairly slow reader. I want to put up a video a week, but I don't think I can read that quickly with my schedule. So, I mean, that's kind of why I want to start doing more of these, like, less talking about books and more like, hey, let's talk about books. Like, I want to spend, like, maybe every now and then a month, like, stepping away from, like, the reviews and going more into, like, this is the kind of things that I've noticed recently, or these are some books I've read that I can't necessarily give a review on, or, I don't know, just, like, writing tips, or, like, how to pick out a good journal. This is not a good journal, by the way. It looks very pretty, but is not a good journal. Next question. When did you start reading? Funny story about this. 5th grade, actually. I was a very slow reader in the beginning. I have dyslexia. I had a hard time sitting still because everyone else was so far above me. I was like, stop it. Like, stop. You're making me feel horrible here. And so I got into this program that my school had that would essentially pull you out of class during English and have you sit down and have your own reading session. And I sort of learned to read out of spite. That became sort of like, you say I can't do this, you make me do some special program, I'm gonna do this and prove you're all wrong. If that tells you anything about who I am as a person, that should give you... I'm very stubborn. So, yeah, 5th grade was when I really started getting into it, but then 8th grade I got into the Kane Chronicles, and that's when things started to pick up and I started to really care about books. Next question. Where do you read? I mostly read at Starbucks, actually. I don't like silence, and sitting still for me is very, like, uncomfortable in the silence. So, like, if I go to Starbucks, there's noise, there's people, there's music, there's bustle. It actually helps me focus quite a lot. If I can't go to Starbucks, I'll, like, set up Spotify in my room and just listen to, like, soft guitar music while I read. I mean, during rehearsals, I try to read, but, like, you're not really supposed to because there's a play going on, and you're, like, in the play, and it's like, Sarah, stop reading, you're supposed to be on stage right now. Yeah, I read at Starbucks. Final question. What kind of book do you like to read? I've been noticing I've been picking up a lot more sci-fi books recently. I do tend to lean towards more fantasy, but frankly, that's getting kind of boring right now, and I like the possibilities that sci-fi presents. I think I might go back to fantasy sooner or later because I have some problems with the sci-fi books I've been picking up, but yeah, I kind of like this new possibility that I find. That is the end of the Newbie Booktuber Tag. Thank you so much for watching. And if you notice anything different about my voice, that is because I've been talking nonstop for like the past week. So if it's a little... Yeah, it's a little worn out, but if you have any suggestions on what you want me to read next, please leave them down in the comment section below. I'm open to any genre, except for romance. I don't read romance at all. I don't understand it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, good night, good evening, and good morning, everybody.